Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Tuesday the 10th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got this morning earlier than I wanted to, but it wasn't horrible. Got up, got the dog out, got her fed. She often doesn't like eat breakfast. She's kind of weird, but sometimes she will, sometimes she won't. Sometimes she'll skip a couple days of eating and stuff. I've gotten over being concerned about her on that whole process, and she kind of eats when she wants to. So she's old and she's not thin by any means. I wouldn't call her like fat, but she's not thin. So it won't hurt her to miss a meal if she's not hungry. So, but yeah, jumped in the hot tub for a little bit. Wife got off to work. She headed out and basically hanging around. I had a little bit of time. I had a dog getting dropped off this morning, and he was a little on the late side for it. Usually he's early, so it made it seem worse than it was, because he almost always is like 15 minutes early, which is great, and I have no problem with that. But it was like time for him to get there, and still hadn't heard from him. Like, that's weird. And then he texted, "Oh, I'm on my way, be there in about 15 minutes. I'm like, okay. So about a half an hour off when I thought he was going to get there, but only 15 minutes late from when he actually was supposed to be here. So it is what it is. So we chatted a little bit, gave him the dog, headed in as just a single overnight, and then supposed to pick up tomorrow by noon was the goal. So I think originally they were just going to go hang out at Disney for the day and then get back late enough they didn't want to pick the dog up, but it sounds like they're actually going to get a room tonight and spend the night over there and then go do stuff tomorrow. So most likely the dog will be getting picked up much later tomorrow. So who knows, we'll see how it breaks down. But yeah, went ahead, got a couple things accomplished, just kind of hang around. Dogs get along fine, they're good, they've been around each other a lot, so no issues there. In and out of the house throughout the day, getting a few things done. Kept trying to rain off and on. It was not the best of weather. Had one of my clients reach out and called me, and they had put a request in. I didn't realize it was them, because they changed their cover photo on the Rover app, and their description of their dog does not actually match their dog, but they haven't changed it since they've had the dog. They've had the dog like 4 years now, and they haven't changed the description. And when they first filled it out, one of the things it said was friend of the dogs, and they had added unsure, which basically means your dog is aggressive and your dog has, anger issues and whatever. It doesn't get along with dogs, because nobody wants to put down no, which is stupid, because if you know your dog doesn't get along with dogs, put down no, so we can then work around that, either keep them separated or whatever the heck you got to do. But the unsure is the worst answer, because now not only every sitter believes your dog is aggressive, but you're unwilling to admit it or acknowledge it. So yeah, but the stupid house over here has like a security camera that I'm out here like on the street, and it constantly goes off like all the time. I've even heard it go off of cars when I come to the side street, it goes off. So they must be so annoyed by getting like hundreds of reminders every day there's somebody in their driveway when they're not. It's just super annoying. But it's like, hey, you're on camera, I need you to know this, blah blah blah. And oh my god, it's so annoying. But went ahead, so I didn't realize it was them. Like I said, Rover also, the app on Rover app is really poor about, like, if a client's already worked with me before and they send a new request, it looks like a brand new request. It doesn't say used you 5 times in the past, or here's the other last stage you had, here's communication you had done during those times, or none of that stuff. It doesn't tell me anything. It just looks like a brand new request. Well, it was on that weird time frame that I was falling into on my trip back to Iowa, and I didn't want to mess with it, because theoretically the dog was really good. Actually, if it was this dog I knew, I'd be like, yeah, my wife would have watched the dog, but I was gone, it doesn't matter. So I was like, whatever. So I went ahead and I just sat down. No, I've got 2, because the first part of this day I've got 2 dogs that don't do well with unsure dogs. So, and I just left it at that. Well, that was Friday, I think, whatever. I get a call today from saying they'd sent the request and I denied it, and then I realized who they were, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's not it at all. Like, here's where we're at. And I said, well, I'm actually heading out of state for that time frame, so I only part of the days I didn't be able to watch it. I said, how do you feel about if your dog was to be here? And like, my wife still goes to work, so she would go to work, come back home with the dog out if she needs to, and then be here all night, with the dog. And they're like, well, we want somebody with the dog all day. And I'm like, I understand if that's what you prefer, but we can't help you, because my wife really loves this dog. It's an older pit bull. She's so sweet, and I believe it's these people's first dog, and they're in like their late 70s. They've never owned dogs in their life, so they're super like cautious and paranoid. Like the first time we did like a test run, they came down. They drive down like 2 hours almost to my place. They got timeshare here, so they came down, did like a test run for like, I can't remember if it was daycare or an overnight. I don't remember which. I think it was just daycare the first day. And they were super protective of the dog and whatever and whatnot. And I give him back the dog, and the dog was like wet from slobber from playing with other dogs and dogs wrestling and stuff. She goes, why is our dog wet? I go, oh, because I've been playing with other dogs. Like I sent you videos and stuff and photos of this dog wrestling and playing with other dogs and stuff. And one of the things dogs do when they wrestle and play is they use their mouths, and that's how you get slobber on your dog. And I was like, well, this is never going to go anywhere, because these people seemed appalled by that fact that I would let dogs play with each other. Like they kind of seemed like more of the type of like, hey, you just look at a dog, you set it over in the corner, and you look at it. I'm like, it's not how we do it here. And it made me laugh because I was like, there's no way they're gonna book it. And they went home, and like 2 days later booked a 2-week stay. And I was like, holy shit, like, okay, cool. And they became great customers, but I can't help them. So told them, I said, let me do some checking around. They asked me who I recommended. I said, sadly, I don't know any other rover setters that I trust. I've used 4 around here over the years with my dog, and there's not one of those I would use again, because they all sucked like on so many different levels. And I didn't know what to tell them. I said, let me call. So I called my clients that have really good dogs. One in particular popped in my brain. His dog has since passed away like a month after Bruce did. And I know he said he wasn't gonna get another dog because he wanted to be able to travel, but this would be an opportunity to have a dog for a little while, get that bonding again with the dog and interaction, and taking the dog out to, you know, hang out at the cafes and stuff and whatever, and be great for it. And he's like, I go, okay, check and listen know. So reach out to him, he's a no. Reached out to 2 more people, they're a no. I haven't reached out online through some of the sitters I know closer to Jacksonville, kind of if there's anybody up there who has really, I even put in there like, I need a top-notch quality, not these bullshit like we have and stuff. Excuse me. And nobody's near there. One of them who I've interacted with before online actually said, I have a friend of mine in Jacksonville, and maybe I need to go visit them for 2 weeks and watch the dog there. And I'm like, hey, if that's something you can do, we might be able to make this happen. It's like, it'll definitely pay for your plane tickets and maybe a little more if you'd want to make that a little vacation out of it, kind of thing. So not hold my breath out in there, but it is what it is. I then also reached out to them, went back and looked at their description again and said, hey, update your dog, change the unsure and the friendly part to get along with dogs, you know, because she does. Like I have numerous videos I've sent you and stuff of her playing with dogs. I also would even probably add into the first request of, hey, my normal sitter who watches her all the time every year for like a month, I watch this dog a month every year, is out of state. That's the only reason why I'm looking for a new sitter, not because the sitter doesn't want her, because he isn't there. And I even responded back also with, hey, I might just take your dog with me, because like this dog is awesome. I don't know how well she does on car rides, especially 24 hours straight in a car, but you know, we gotta stop, you know, it's like I used to do with Bruce, we'd stop all the time, get out, run around, food and drink, all that kind of stuff. But they didn't, I sent that and they didn't respond back with, yeah, that might be a possibility. They did not seem like that was a good idea for them. So I was like, cool, because I would be back like a couple days after they would get back from their trip. So it would be on the way back through, coming down through Jacksonville, I could meet them, give them back their dog. So I would just have their dog on a 2.5 week road trip with me, which would be kind of cool actually, because I haven't traveled with a dog in a really long time, so it'd be kind of nice. But excuse me. So we kind of, that was my big hoopah of messing with that throughout the rest of the day, trying to find them a sitter with no luck. I did also, before I got that call, I got a call from one of Karen's doctors, and they said they've been trying to reach her and they can't. I'm like, how important is this? She sees you at 3:45 today, like, calm down, she has an appointment. And they're like, well, the doctor wants to work the lunch hour, we're trying to move things up, so we want to reschedule her appointment because he has an appointment this afternoon. I'm like, yeah, she has an appointment this afternoon at 3:45. We've had it for months, you guys should honor that, you know. And the woman was like a real bitch about it, like, just either, you know, do it or not. I'm like, well, I don't tell you. So I called my wife, and she basically, I got the voicemail, started leaving a voicemail for her, and she picked up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Apparently the new iPhone update, while you're leaving somebody a voicemail, they can actually pick up the voicemail, like mid voicemail. Like you used to do in the old days, like your tape recorder, like on your answer machine. And I was like, what the hell is that? It freaked me out a little bit, but I was like, cool, no big deal. So I went ahead, told her what the heart group was going. She goes, yeah, they left me a message earlier this morning, but didn't really tell me what was going on. And they didn't make it sound like, they basically like, hey, if you can come in earlier, these are the openings we'd have for you. And she's like, well, I really can't come in earlier because this is not how my schedule works. I'm working and I got stuff to do. So, and she goes, I tried to call them back a few times, but their phone system is complete garbage, and it happens there all the time. Their phone system is straight garbage. So, and they have like, I don't know, 5 offices around here all over the place. And it's like a whole bunch of BS trying to reach people and stuff, and their phone system's crap. It really, really is. So since she told me that, I called back the number I had, got a hold of a different person, of course, and said, hey, my wife's been trying to get a hold of you guys multiple times today to try and get a thing rescheduled. And she goes, well, yeah, she goes, well, we can see her at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock. I said, well, 1 o'clock won't work because she's taking her father to the doctor and he has to be there at like 1 o'clock. So that can't happen. And 11 o'clock is in like 5 minutes. So what the hell? So she goes, I don't know. I said, well, you guys need to call her back because she can't get through your system. Your phone system sucks. She goes, yeah, our phone system's always messing up. And I'm like, why don't you guys fix it? Like, you're a damn doctor's office here and you're dealing with heart patients. Like, why add the stress to their lives? But whatever. So called my wife back, told her, I said, hey, this is what they told me, finally, which they told me the first time. She would have probably mailed to, yada, yada. So she just said, hell with it. She tries calling in, can't reach him, on the phone the whole time. Calling back in, can't reach him. And she drives over there and she gets in the office and they're like, yeah, we can't, you're late for the 11 o'clock. It's like, I have a 3:45. I'm early for my 3:45. They're like, yeah, don't matter. We're going to reschedule you. So now she has to go back like the 24th, which sucks because her plan was to take her dad to work or to the doctor today, then go to her appointment. As soon as that was done, depending on what time it was going to come home or go back to work, depending on the time frame. Because 3:45 by the time she gets out of the appointment, it's 4:30. She gets off at 5, so she was going to go home then. But instead, she takes her lunch break to run over here to try and squeeze into their damn schedule so they can take off early today, which is bullshit. And it's rescheduled anyway, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, annoyed as hell with them people. So it is what it is. So she ended up home for a little bit, took her dad to the doctor, came back, and she's like, I'm just gonna work from the house. She goes, it's not worth going back in. And part of the thing, when she left the doctor's office the first time, she went back to her office and was sitting in the car waiting for the rain to stop, and it was just torrential downpour. And she goes, screw this, I'm just going home. I gotta get my dad a little bit anyway. So she just said, hell, it came home. Ended up actually was able to do some work, sent some payments and stuff through mobile banking through her phone. Was able to get a couple things done. Well, since she was technically working in the parking lot anyway, she was going home. The hell with this rain. Came home, got her dad, took him to the doctor, got back, and then decided to stay home, work out of her home office, which her computer slaves in and stuff. It's all good. So she was just like she's at the office, just not physically there. So yeah, got down with that. Basically, I went ahead and got my run in. Waiting for her to get down with work. I want to get my run in so we could have dinner. And she never told me she was done with work, but she'd been done for a little bit. So went ahead and got my run in, got back, cooked up some salmon and some mushrooms and some corn and some rice. Had herself a nice little dinner and watched a little bit of Young Sheldon. Chatted a little bit, talked and stuff. Then I headed back outside with the dogs where I enjoyed a beautiful cigar, a beautiful evening. So but yeah, that's all I got for right now. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.